right, well, good afternoon and welcome. We're going to get started. All right, a little loud. Happy to have a microphone this month, so we haven't had a microphone in a couple months. Welcome to LA2M. My name is Jim Musial, and we get this meeting kicked off every month. We're happy that you guys are here. It's a light crowd. I don't know if it's summer vacation or everyone's afraid that the giant storm is going to be coming. So I do know we have a lot of people that watch online. Today, unfortunately, we're not live streaming. Roger's on vacation, and Bill back there is filling in, so we're just videotaping today's session along with Kevin up here. We'll be walking around the room, and we'll post the video either the end of this week or first part of next week. So whatever you see today, you can see Henry's presentation back online next week. So I know we got a couple first-timers here, so just for you guys, a quick format of what we are and how we're going to work today. LA2M is a nonprofit organization. We're in our 8th year, bringing marketing topics and speakers to marketing groups, and we want to share great ideas, great technologies, things that will help you in your business and help you grow your company, both in marketing and sales. It's also a great opportunity to network with other marketing professionals and sales professionals to help you guys connect and grow business within each other. So that's a great resource for this organization. We are a volunteer organization. I kick these meetings off each month, but we have a group of people behind the scenes that do a lot of work. Stacy in the back is our treasurer. Kathy at the front door, who checks us in every month, volunteers her time. Carter's here every month taking photographs, and we'll post them to our Facebook page. Roger, who's usually here videotaping, and Bill and Kevin today, they volunteer their time. If you're interested in volunteering your time, please see me, and we'd be happy to have you help out with the organization. We continue to grow. We continue to have great speakers each season. This started 8 years ago as 5 guys getting together over lunch and talking marketing ideas, and literally has grown each year. We've been here at Connor O'Neill's for, I think, about 5 years now. And it's a good format, it's a good place to meet, and we look forward every month to bringing in great speakers and sharing these great topics. We have a great speaker today. Today is a day I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Number one, having Henry here on our speaker schedule, I was really excited about. I've known Henry for a few years now and has done some really incredible things. I won't steal any of his thunder because I'm sure he's going to share some of what he's done and where he's been. But the second part of today is where I'll be leaving right after here and heading down into Detroit for Metallica. Oh, yeah. I've had those tickets for months, and those of you that know me well enough, I am a headbanger. I used to be a closet headbanger, but I'm a headbanger, so I'm really looking forward to whether, I don't care if it's thunder and lightning tonight, I can care less, I'll be there. So, but anyways, so we're a nonprofit, full of volunteers. We also have sponsorship opportunities. Another way that the organization stays viable is through our sponsors. If you or your company would be interested in sponsoring one of these sessions, you get the opportunity to come up and speak about your company or what your asks or needs are, and then you get part of our website and emails that go out. So if you're interested in that, please see me. I'd be happy to give you some options of what are available. July and August are our last 2 sessions of the season. In September we'll kick off a new season, but this month obviously with Henry here, next month Derek Maribon will be speaking, so we're going to finish up the season with some great speakers. We've had some great speakers throughout the year. We've been very fortunate. So I think that's about it. If you haven't already, you can order lunch from the Connor staff. That lunch is on your own, obviously, but it's great food. So if you're already enjoying, most people aren't, it's great food. I'm going to go back there and order something, because I have to have nourishment for the rest of the day, so I can remain on my feet and do a little headbanging. So we're really lucky to have Henry here today. If you've not met Henry before or seen him speak, Henry has a wealth of knowledge. If you've been in Southeast Michigan for the last 10 years in digital or technology, you probably know Henry, or you at least know some of the stuff he's worked on when he talks about it. I've seen Henry speak many times, from just small events to TEDx Detroit, where he's presented some of the company stuff he's done in the past. He's done some incredible things, and we're really fortunate and lucky to have him here to share some of the successful tools and techniques that he's used with his teams over the years to engage customers and increase the client experience, which ultimately obviously helps you grow sales. And in the end, that's really what we're all here is about, to grow and market our companies or ourselves and connect and grow business. So I won't take any more of his time. Henry will speak for we have the next till 1 o'clock here, but the last few, probably 10 minutes, we're going to pass the microphone around and everybody can introduce themselves. And then maybe before that, we'll have, I'm sure, time for a Q&A with Henry. And I'm sure as Henry's speaking, if you have a question, I'm sure he wouldn't mind an interruption. So I always like when the speaker gets a beer. Henry has a beer in front of him, which always makes the talk a little more entertaining. So I say if you can sit back and enjoy we're together for the next hour, and if you put your hands together and welcome Henry with me.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been going on for 8 years now. Actually, and I'll show this real quick before I get started. I think it was 2009 or 2010, I did my first LA2M talk here. And it was, and if I just page through here real quick, it was about iPhone apps. This was when no one had an iPhone that was making iPhone apps. But, I mean, look how old that thing is. But this presentation here was 74 slides long. I don't, paging through it, I don't even know what I talked about. But yeah, that was 2009 or 2010. I can't believe I've been here almost every year since. But today we're not talking about iPhone apps today. And we don't have 74 slides, we have 5 today. So we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, my name is Henry Dama. I'm the Chief Product Officer of Autobooks. And today I'm going to show you some behind the scenes of some of the tools we use for user engagement. And that's everything from analytics to how we communicate with our customers. A little bit about my background. When I had my first presentation here at LA2M, 2010, these companies didn't even exist. But after that first company, I rolled it in, I did iPhone apps. I rolled that into another company called Detroit Labs where we do, it's still going, we did mobile apps for big companies. So if you've ever used the Domino's pizza app on Android or the iPhone or any of the GM apps that start your car, those are some things that we work on. And it's grown from 4 of us when I started it with 3 others, and now it's over 100 people, and they're still going pretty strong. After that,
Henry?
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to toot your horn a little bit more. Am I correct in saying wasn't Domino's app hasn't that been one of the top most downloaded apps in history?
Yeah, and it's also deployed a lot of calories as well. And I think it was a private stat at one point, but when I left Detroit Labs, it was something it was processing just through the iOS and Android app, something like $4 million a week in pizza revenue, just through the apps themselves.
So they were happy.
Yeah, they were happy.
Still are.
They probably have grown since then. So they continue to do that. So it's a good thing everyone got iPhones and Android devices. After that, started another company here in Ann Arbor called Stratos Card. It was a Bluetooth credit card that could become any of your credit cards. Started it here in Ann Arbor with 3 others, raised some venture capital for that. Actually, her husband worked there for a little while. And then, after that, end of 2015, we were done with that. And then now I'm at Autobooks, which is, we just raised $5.5 million for that venture, and it's, if anyone's curious, it's actually not as exciting to talk about the Domino's pizza app or the Stratos Card, but we make some automated accounting and invoicing and payments software. But it's available through your bank or credit union. So when you log into your online bank account, not only can you now pay bills with certain things, you can now accept payments as well. So the good news is we're on the 4th slide of 5. But I wanted to show you a little bit about what we do in the background here at Autobooks and some of the tools that we use for user engagement. So a lot of this is going to be demo. I'm going to start at the top here with Segment, and what we use Segment for is we use that to get all of the events when people interact with our web app. Let me show you how that works. This segment of all things is probably the most boring, but it's the glue of everything. So what this is, it's a piece of code that you drop at the bottom of your website. So similar to adding Google Analytics to your website, or dropping something into the footer of all of your pages, you do the same with that too, and that's all the coding that you need to do. Drop that at the bottom of your web page, and what this allows you to do is turn on a bunch of other services and apps that are available around the world. And so after we've dropped this piece of code in, now we can enable, without any coder help, all of these other integrations pretty easily here. So we have a list of some of the things that we're using actively and some that we are not. Some that I will talk about, like Active Campaign and Full Story, and I'll show you a little bit about those as well. But this part's important because this collects all of the data of your users and how they use their app. Every button click, every event, every page view, and then so you can do some interesting things with that data, and then also use that to turn on things like chat or email or activate certain things. And I'll show you what that means here. The first thing, yep.
I'm not clear on the relationship with the bank. These, you know who you know what banks they use? These are not banks, are they?
Yeah, we sell Autobooks to banks to
Oh.
provide to their customers. So everything you see on your bank website is actually an app made by someone else. So similar to an iOS app or an Android app, you build an app and then you get to deploy it out to banks. And so what people don't know is that there are four main core providers, four software providers, operating systems, if you will, for banks. And so if you go to Bank 1 or Credit Union 2 or something like that, all of them use one of four providers who provide the same software. And so we're doing what has existed before, and we're just distributing it through, bank apps. But as you can imagine, it's not as easy as deploying an app to the App Store. And I'll show you a little bit about what it looks like too.
Henry, can I back?
Yep.
And so are the banks adding to what you're providing to them? So is it customized, or is it more of a canned background operation for the bank?
Yeah, I'll just show you. So this is an actual credit union right here. Don't look at password. So this is a test bank or a test account that I set up. Well, it's a real account, but I set it up. So when you log into your online banking portal, you have your usual e-pay, so you can pay your bills, things like that. And right here we have, zoom in there, we have an Autobooks tab, and when I click on that, so it's part of your online banking experience. When you click on that, then we, sorry, my connection is slow, but we have an app in the bank website. So this is Autobooks right here. It allows you to do your invoicing and accounting and pay your bills through here, and it all automates your collections and your accounting as well, your general ledger, things like that. So I don't use it that much, so that's why everything is that. But yeah, that's hopefully a little bit easier to absorb as far as how we deploy Autobooks into people's hands. And so we keep signing up banks, and then they'll see this tab. Some things that happen behind the scenes though. So this is what Autobooks looks like. Some of the things behind the scenes, and I'll start with some of the user engagement stuff as far as what we use for email marketing and what we use for automations. And as I mentioned, there was this thing called Segment, and this links up everything together. Not only does it allow you to deploy some of these services to your web app, it also sends that data to certain web apps as well. That makes it very easy. So when someone first clicks on this tab, it automatically updates, because we have this active campaign integration, it automatically adds their information into our CRM. So we don't have to do any manual like typing of keeping track of people. It also sends the events, like if someone sends an invoice or collects a payment, things like that, we can build these automations based on those events. Like if they visit a certain page or stay on a certain page for a certain amount of seconds, we can send them an email and put them in some sort of email queue. And so if we're walking through something like this one is about credit cards. When they do a payment, or when they're interested in making a payment, or I guess accepting payments, we put them into a deal pipeline, which looks like this here. We put them in a deal pipeline similar to how you would do with any CRM system. We wait for 30 hours, so we're not sending that email immediately. And this is just an example of many automations you can build. Then we send them this email right here about credit cards. And then we wait for 1 week. Then we send them another one about something else, something slightly different. And what's great about Active Campaign, because it adds your contacts, and because you can build these automations, you can keep track in real time here as far as like where people are in this funnel. You know, so right now we have 2 people that are actually have received the first 2 emails, and not this third one down here. And so they're waiting. I don't know how long they've been in there, but they've been waiting, and then eventually they're going to get this other piece of email. And then if they do the certain action that we're looking for, then they go to a different automation in which we try to encourage a different behavior. And so all of those can be built right here in Active Campaign. And so it's one of those build it once, and then you don't need to have a human remember to follow up with each one of your customers. Because when you have hundreds, thousands, I mean even dozens, it gets really difficult to keep track of what message you sent to someone and when you need to send someone another message. And so we use this pretty heavily as far as our email marketing. And what's neat about this too is you can also send text messages. We haven't yet, but you can also send text messages, segment people into VIP or tier 1s or tier 2s, order of importance, and you can do that all automatically right at once with the site, and then everyone just gets funneled through. And so we use this pretty heavily. We moved away from MailChimp. We moved to this because of this automation and tracking that they do. And we also use it because our marketing team, they're not developers. And so we need an easy way for them to route, create this logic in order for them to receive these emails. Another thing that
I'm sorry, I got time for it. So, from a user experience, I mean, are the banks, or the financial institution, is this you guys developing this, or is this on part of their feedback of what they're looking from gathering data from their users?
So it's a little bit of both. So we use it in order to optimize the user experience and to make sure that they're doing high value actions and to track who is doing that and to profile them. And they're using the data, similarly. What the banks don't have is, they know all your money like going out. They know withdrawals and deposits, things like that. But they don't know, how you run your business, your accounting, and using this data, it can be very interesting for them to know how the money goes out and how the money comes in and how you categorize them so that they can provide value.
And then do they use these type of tools to then market to mortgage or business loans or personal loans? Are they able to take and farm that data and the back end to be able to do that?
Yeah, they'll be able to do that. So we share that. I mean, it's their customers.
Yeah.
And so anything that we do is
For them.
Is for them. We're just providing a service as far as receiving transactions. Okay, the next thing that we have here is it's a service called Intercom, and you can see a little sample here at the bottom. Intercom is a on-website chat service, and so right here, Intercom's using their own service to message to me. But what it is when people need help, there's a little bottom right icon. You might have seen it in other websites, but again, based on behavior, or based on whatever criteria you have, it allows you to interact with the customers in real time. So the best way to engage with someone is when they're engaging with their product, with your product. And so for us, we have something similar. We use Intercom, and based on what they do on the site, so in this one, if they visited the dashboard and the add a customer, we pop up a little message here, a little auto message. Again, everything's about automation. We pop up a message here that we've designed that says, hey, welcome to Autobooks, set up your contacts, let us know if you have any questions, things like that. And you can do that with all sorts of automations. And what's neat about this, let me go here, is that it gives you a, I'm going to shrink that so we can see the names. It tells you when someone's going inactive. So if someone was active in the system and they stopped coming back, you get an email that says, hey, look, Ashley was there and now she's not. You might want to message to her. You can even trigger actions around that. If someone becomes inactive, then you can send a custom email or a custom chat to them saying, hey, look, we've added some new features since you've last visited, come check them out. And it's just a way to take people who have churned, people who have left the product to go do other things, to bring them back into the system. Or if they visited a help page, you can have a trigger that will send them an email or send them a message around what they need to do in order to get more value from the system. And so there's a plethora, again, of like a lot of information and all the stuff from Segment that we put on our site. So yeah, we have code, you can't see here, but we have code on this website that tells them where they've been, and that information also gets fed into here too, so that we can do better targeting. So, yes.
Will that indicate like if it's resolved? So like if someone entered into a chat and it was whatever it was they were engaging in, then say, okay, yeah, I'm done, I got my answers. Is there some way to track so that you're not saying, hey, did we satisfy you? Or it says, thank you, that we were able to help you resolve.
Yeah, that's part of the experience. So you can show messages when they've completed a task, or you could say only show this message once. You could also, because there's probably a ton of different automations that you could do, you could say, hey, of all our automations here, send them no more than one per day, right? So that every time they visit a page, they're not getting a new one. And so it'll take the best performing chat bubble, I guess, and based on that, it'll serve them one per day based on the action, so that it doesn't inundate them with messages while you're trying to use the app. And all that data is, we didn't have to do any technical integrations. All we do is turn this on here in Segment, and then it's live. So same thing with Google Analytics. If you've had to ever drop a piece of code into Google Analytics, all you have to do now is just kind of like switch things on, and there's a ton of different things that you can like link up to here. So that was Intercom. We have a few different messages that we have here. I won't go into those. As I mentioned with Segment, because we get this plethora of data, we can also feed it into a business intelligence tool. And I'll give you an example here. We made a clone of one of our dashboards so I can remove some the data. But because you have the events like login and button pushes, and you have all these emails that you send from Active Campaign, and then you have your system emails that you send, they all can get fed into here. And so this lets us track and really gauge how we need to improve and where we're, what we're doing wrong and how our users are using our app, and distilling it into something visual. And so upper left here, I'll show you what the chart looks like here. But instead of doing a bunch of, it's called query language called SQL, instead of doing a lot of code like that to do SQL, you can use this tool, it's called Chart.io, to drag and drop what you need into here, stitch them all together from your Active Campaign email source to how people use your apps to even your Zendesk for support. You can stitch them all into something, do a bunch of transforms, and add a few things here, and then all of a sudden you have something that is pretty useful. So we have a few trends here. You can see that, we have, I removed the X, or the X and Y axis just to, hide some things from the video here, but we have average login here to see how often people are logging in and when, and some time frame. Is that going up or down, or what's the current on that? We also have top page visits here. We also have, specifically for us, when people are sending invoices, it's good for us, and we can see the cycles of those. And so we have that kind of information, and we can also make product decisions based on that. And this is our payments actions trend here, and that blue line is people who have viewed the business's invoices, and that the red and green line there is when people have made a payment or have taken steps to make a payment. You can see over here on the left, is the left pretty good? Yep. On the left side here, that there was a point here where people were clicking and going to pay an invoice, but not actually paying it here on the red and green line. And we made a payments reminder email that went on with some cadence using Active Campaign to remind people who hadn't paid to pay their invoices. And then we see that line get closer and closer to the red and green line, which is what we want. And so you get that kind of visibility. And without this tool, we wouldn't know to make that change. We would just, we would be guessing. But now we can definitively see and know going forward exactly how we're performing. With that too, because we send system emails, we can also see based on the category of the emails that we send, which ones get opened and which ones get clicked on. And whenever we do a new type of email, we get to see how well it performs, then we can tweak the ones that are not performing as well, or we can figure out if it's the email subject, or if it's the body, or if we even need to send this at all. Yes?
Can you tell if somebody deletes the email? Like just never touches it basically?
We can tell when they don't touch it, because we have a number of emails that get delivered. We don't know if it goes to spam or not,
Okay.
but we know if they open it or not. And we don't know if they...
So the unopened rate could be deleted, could be spam, there could be a lot of...
You can infer a few things though. For example, people usually delete emails one at a time versus like in bulk, unless they're emptying their spam or something like that. And so to actually delete it, you have to open the email. So we kind of can infer that, but those are, I'll have to think of how we would use that data.
Well, I
Like
just
the
know
subject would be,
sometimes...
the next subject to them would be, please don't delete this email. I don't know.
Well, no, I was just thinking, a lot of times when I get, like, people will send me too many emails, and it's like, I just get annoyed.
Mhm.
And it's like.
We can tell when they report to spam or if they unsubscribe.
All right.
And so those are metrics too that we get. It's just not distilled in this particular chart. But we can definitely tell those. If you use MailChimp or any of those, you can tell those too. Active campaign as well. And then with this too, you can also see some of your feature trends and then some of the unique users based on some time frame. And what that's helpful for is figuring out what features and what pages are most important. You know, what you want to focus on is, you know, the actions that people do a lot of the time, and if most users use a certain feature most of the time, then those are the features that you need to double down on, and those are the features that you need to talk about moving forward. And then you kind of, I don't want to say ignore, but you deprioritize, you know, fixing anything or improving something on the bottom scale. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. If I can make this really, really tiny. Okay. Well, for this, we use this all the time to figure out who we need to like target and who we need to move forward. Yes.
Who is we?
The Autobooks team.
And where's the data stored?
The data is stored in our data warehouse. So, and there's you know, we go through compliance and things like that. So we gotta keep things pretty tight. And then, you know, with that, we use this to gain insights. With the next piece here, again, it's another segment. Integration here. It's called Full Story. And let me show you that. This is kind of neat if you haven't seen this. Now what this does, whenever you log in to or drop a Google Analytics or any of those analytic packages onto your website, you know, it collects a lot of data, but it's hard to visualize what that means when people take actions. And so what Full Story is it takes, you know, all of the events that, you know, Google Analytics and all these other analytical tracking packages can take. It takes all that data and recreates visually for you what the user is doing. And so I have here what looks like it's our website, but it takes all the HTML, CSS, all the stuff, and recreates it visually for you. And so this is an actual, this is our test user, so I don't show you guys anyone else using it. But you can actually hit play here, and it's going at 4x speed. And what it does is it takes all that data, recreates this, and you can actually see. And this is great for support, and this is great for actually seeing how your users use your app. But let's see. Just fast forward here. So what you're seeing right here and you can see the events here on the right. What you're seeing here is even the mouse movements. You know, those are things that the Google Analytics also tracks. But you can see the actual usage of the app. I don't know, it's hard to see, but you can see the mouse movements, where they're clicking, what they're doing, and all you have to do is drop this segment code and activate Full Story, and you can recreate how people are visiting your marketing website, how people are using your web app, and things like that.
Is that in real time or history?
This is history, but you can watch it live.
Okay.
So if you are helping someone, you know, someone calls into your customer support line and says, hey, I can't find this thing, you could actually go live with them and help them find whatever they need to do. And so this is, this was earlier today. This was at 8:58 a.m. This morning. And this is one of our developers who are moving through this here. And you can do things too as far as, you know, I mean, it goes, you see that bottom thing on the right there, the little chat bubble? If you're watching live, you can actually watch what they're typing as they're, so you know their message before they even like hit end or things like that. But it recreates it for you, and it's super helpful for figuring out, you know, where your bottlenecks are, you know, what you need to do to move someone forward, and all the difficulty that people are having in either your website or your web app. And when you combine that with all this other data here, you have you have a full story of how people are using your app. You know, with Card.io here, you have, you know, all your support tickets, all the emails that you sent them. So you have the entire customer journey, and you can distill that all into actionable items. And, you know, we are using a lot of these tools because of all the best practices that we've seen in digital marketing. But because I have a programming background, our CEO has a programming background, we automate a lot of things, and we use data to make decisions versus conjecture. Yes?
Henry, how many of these programs, I'm gonna call them, because I don't know, how many of these programs is right to drop into your website and use? As many as you want, or
Yeah.
how do you decide that they are all those in your website?
All those are on our website.
Okay.
So we have, you know, what I was showing was the web app, but we also have it on our regular marketing site too.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, your regular site.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what we use it for too is because we, you know, they have a cookie on their browser, we know that, you know, if someone uses a web app or opens an email from a marketing campaign, visits our main website, visits our web app, we could combine that, stitch that all into one thing.
With those programs.
Yep, with those programs. The backbone here being Segment, to make it easy to turn it on. But yeah, everything, you know, for example, here is our little chat bubble thing there as well on our regular website. And
Who's sitting there 24 hours a day to chat?
there's an auto away message if it's after hours,
Ah.
but we have certain hours.
Oh.
And we also have autoresponders with these chats, so if someone says something, then we could collect information as well. Hey, thanks for contacting us. What is your name? You know, what is your email? No one's here. You know, what is your email? We'll get back to you. What do you like? What do you need? Things like that. And so that gives us a more robust data set, the more questions that they answer. Yes?
So a lot of the items seem to be primarily for like data analytics and or putting together queries to target a particular data. But for like the full story, is there any sort of like privacy regulation that goes along with that, or how does that?
Yeah, definitely. So we, you know, we have to stay compliant because of the software that we're building, and this is just good practice in general. But there are certain PII regulations that have us hiding a few things from these systems. And so things like, you know, when someone makes a payment, that code's there, but we don't send that data, like the credit card number or anything like that, over to these services. Or things like people's names and things like that, we abstract a lot of that to user IDs as well. But the tools that we picked were primarily because I guess we all need to be very careful about putting users' data into many different places, so we have to be careful with that. Yes?
When you can, but you can target any, I don't want to say target because I know you're not doing that, but I mean, you can look at any one particular user to see what they're doing with their experience.
Yep, all of these tools, we can go back historically and see some things. There's some retention limits. For example, with full story, we set to not keep more than 14 days or something like that of data, so that we can't go like back in April or May or something like that. We just want to be careful with that, especially with this stuff here. But yeah, there's retention, and then there's also hiding a few things as well. Yes, you had a question?
That's okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. I think, let me see, I want to see if I went over them. We use a few other different tools, like around like security and things like that, but I'll spare you guys the time on that. And then we also use Slack, so let me bring some of that up here. So all the events that you see, we get a little string here of key events that we need to see, so that we can get alerted of people who open emails, things like that. We make sure that we monitor that and our team monitors that, so that if we need to look at something, then we need to react to something, then we'll be able to see that as well. So, but Slack is a chat program, not really an engagement, but we use it anyway. And again, the way that we've been able to activate that is really just flipping a switch here on segment to turn that on, and no coding necessary, sends it to where we need to. But, okay, let's see, I think that was it for some of the things.
Senator, we have about a little less than 10 minutes, so I don't know if you want to just do some Q&A or if you got some specific.
Yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys app queues at some other time, but there's a thing called app queues, and it pops up messages on the site and does the tooltip tour, things like that. But, yeah.
I know I may not look it, but I'm not as old school as I may portray. I think cold calling, if it isn't dead, it's not doing very well. And these call blitzes is old school and not really working today. What I'm starting to envision is sending out messages to customers, and when somebody responds, or prospects, somebody responds, my sales team gets a notification, quick, email this individual or call this individual. They want to know more about product A or product B. And if we did an effective enough marketing campaign, I'm almost seeing a sales force doing nothing but making responding to hot leads, not cold calling, but hot customer on the line, wants information right now, go get them. Don't wait, don't email, get them now. Am I off base? Is that
So, I mean, we actually do that. So Zendesk is a support tool that we use. We make all our incoming and outgoing calls through there to the customers. And we get that data fed to us. And so not only are you seeing and triggering things based on emails that people have opened, website clicks, visits, but also we have like phone call like logs too. And based on all of that, you can distill that into a simple hot or cold score. And based on that score, make sure that that gets notified, that the proper people get notified to call them, that they're the people who you need to talk to, and you don't need to waste your time with other people.
The other value I see there is if I turn a lead over to one of my sales folks who was a hot lead by all metrics and you couldn't convert them into a customer, I need to know why. Because they were at level 1 in terms of interest. You didn't close.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that.
Use that, but I think that'd be a valuable metric for me as a manager.
Yeah, and what these tools do is, I know you could create the entire customer journey, but all this needs to be human absorbable. And we need to find out where the bottleneck is. Why didn't this work? Was it this? We can get down to the specific email, to the specific page, that, okay, this is where the drop off is. It's like everything was good up until this point, or sales funnel, like the biggest deficit is here, and we can pinpoint everything, and that's what we look to build, because we want to make sure that we deliver value to our customers.
And I could do that for each and every individual rep so that I would know where their bottlenecks occurred.
Yeah. So you can click into an individual person. I mean, you have to build some of that in some of the logic here, but you can see their journey and figure out whether they're dropping off specifically.
consumer, I'm wondering, it seems like my cell phone is blowing up. People soliciting me. I don't usually leave my cell phone number anywhere on websites. Is that, where are people farming cell phone numbers at this point? Like, are they pulling it like you're doing behind the scenes when you're ordering things, or where's the privacy allowed when your cell phone is entering? Is that part of what's going on as people are kind of backdoor marketing? It's like, oh, she was here, maybe she might want something, let's make a call.
Are you talking about this specifically here?
Or just in general, from an industry perspective and from your knowledge, since you have a vast.
Yeah, we call people if they give us their number. We don't get their numbers from external sources.
And other people, though, is that happening now as more information is out there, people grabbing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gotten so bad that I switched to Android recently. It lets me know if it's a spam call. So it rings and it shows me a big red screen. That's certainly happening. It's easy to pull that data now from people's resumes that you post online and things like that. And so your cell phone number and all of our cell phone numbers, I mean, we just have to consider that public.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Thanks.
Henry, from a standpoint of from marketing and your years of experience, are there specific, and not to exactly what you're doing here with Autobooks, but in a big picture, we're obviously in a digital age. Our businesses are changing, the way we market is changing. Are there specific digital tools, say aside from Google Analytics, that are really, that you would think, just from a maybe personal standpoint, are most important from a standpoint of marketing and growing a business?
Yeah, I mean, for us, Full Story was a game changer for us. A lot of, because we have to support an app, having that visibility on what went wrong and why was super important, especially like in the earlier days. So that changed it for us. The other one is, anything with email automations, not just sending out like a one-off campaign, but based on if they clicked or if they're a hot lead or not, sending them the right message at the same time. So things like Active Campaign, Drip, and there's a Pardot, Marketo. Tools like that have been pretty essential. If people use that, then you can free up a lot of your day, because a lot of business now is it's all just communications. And if you all of a sudden get more than 2 people, we're all drowning in emails, and being responsive is super important. And so building these automations to send the emails at the right time and triggering new ones based on new behavior becomes super important on that side as well. Having said that, segmentation has been super important. So all the stuff that I showed you with the chart.io and things like that, making sure that you have more context when talking to people has become important as well, because then you have to change your message even when you call them, right? If someone's making, getting 40 payments a week versus 2, you have to give them a different value proposition.
So do we have any other questions for Henry? One more? We'll do one more here.
Hi. So it seems that automation is key, is what I'm hearing here. And I'm wondering, that obviously frees up a lot of time in the day, but how much monitoring time do you kind of spend with these apps? Do you find that the learning curve is, something that's manageable in terms of training people to use these tools? And then how much time is kind of spent daily on average making sure that all these apps are working for you?
Mm-hmm. The answer is, at first it's a lot. You have to monitor a lot. You don't know what to automate. Like, how do I know to send an email to this person or this person based on what they do, unless you have a human monitor. And so at first it's a lot, because you need to get all the bugs out and make sure that you never set up like an automation to like start triggering. Go ahead, like here's a chain of 40 emails that go. Like, you have to do a lot of testing. And then as far as once you get that, that's the investment. And then once you get that investment pays off, because then you get customer 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 500, whatever far as like training, usually, and we've gotten better at this, usually you only show people like the key features, like internally in our company, and with that usually sparks curiosity. So you show the main things there, and with that curiosity, after like an hour or two of showing some of the tool, then the questions become a little more pointed, and then that training goes from 1 to 2 hours to, now they're exploring pieces of value in other places. And so training for us hasn't been too much on that side. But a lot of us also have developer backgrounds as well, so I don't know how easy it is for non-developers. But the tools that we picked have been specifically for like marketers, so we don't bother the developers. That's why we segment here, drop this code in, and then we'll handle the rest. And we've been able to make that pretty productive.
All right, if you join me in thanking Henry for the information.
So, again, I always see the LA2M that I wish we could go for 2 or 3 hours, and I know Henry can talk for 2 or 3 hours on that information that's out there. 5 slides is not enough, Henry. It's great information, and we appreciate Henry sharing that knowledge with us. Obviously, as marketers, we are all changing the way we do business, and the way we market to our customers, and to other companies, and to each other. So having resources like Henry and being able to share this type of information, I hope that's the goal of the organization, is to put those tips and information in your hands so that you can hopefully utilize it in your business. So great information. Thank you so much, Henry, for being here. We've got a little less than 10 minutes. What we normally do at the end of LA2M is we pass the microphone around. You get an opportunity to introduce yourself. If you actually stand up, introduce yourself, tell us who you're with. If you have a quick ask or need, and then we'll pass it on to the next person. So we'll get around pretty quickly. If you don't want to say something, you just pass the microphone to the next person. But that helps us so that we know who each other are, and if you get the opportunity, you want to talk to someone afterward. And Henry will stick around for a few minutes. We have the room here so you can network and meet each other. So
Let's get around the room real quickly.
Hello everybody, I'm Matt Aldrich. I'm from MLab just down the road. I'm just kind of getting into digital marketing, so really learning a lot, and this is the first time I've been to one of these events, but plan on coming back.
Hello, I'm Sarah Fuller. I'm the retail and internet coordinator at Motawi Tile Works, and I am also just getting into digital marketing. So this is a great tool. First time here. Thank you for organizing.
Hi, I'm Rita Mitchell. I'm the Senior People Manager at Motawi Tile Works, and my husband used to work with Henry at Stratos. I'm Krista Quinn. I'm the Marketing Communications Coordinator at Motawi Tile Works, and also we're getting into and amping up our digital marketing, so this is a really great tool, and we can't wait to go back to the office and try everything out right away.
My name is Deb Perry, and I work at Roman Ceramics. They make the tile, we make the clay. I do sales and administrative work.
Hi, my name is Linda Baker, and I do business development for JBS, which is a nonprofit. My guest today is oftentimes we have job seekers who come for services at JBS and are looking to change fields. And so if you would ever be interested in talking to a job seeker about what you do in your field of business, I'd love to have your card so that we can hook them up with you. Wouldn't be all the time, it's just if someone had an interest in your particular field. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Janet Grants. I have my own company, Enhanced Endeavors, and I provide writing and editing services. And I do everything from a copy editing a book to doing content marketing, social media postings, etc. So any writing or editing needs?
I'm Kathy Wilder. I work for Ford Investment Strategies, which is a financial analyst company, and I also am secretary of the Kiwanis Club of Ann Arbor.
Hi everybody, I'm Stacey Colick from Dollar Bill, your local digital print shop, postcards, business cards, all that. We're fast, cost effective, and efficient. Thank you all for being here at LA2M. You speaking?
Thank you. Hello, Bill Hall. I'm with Talk Video. We produce podium events, medical conferences, events of different kinds, as well as coaching for on-camera presentation. It's not as easy as it looks.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dennis Hoffman, a 20-year veteran of McCann Worldwide. I've been doing my own consulting work. Obviously, advertising, branding, communications is something I've worked in for a long time, but I'm looking to maybe return to corporate America right now. I've been doing some work with the Autism Alliance of Michigan, with senior care, and with digital marketing as well. So kind of running the gambit.
My name is Patrick Harwood. I work for a company by the name of Autobooks. I'm a client manager there, so we are in staffing specifically for IT, engineering, and digital professionals. So just taking the opportunity to learn some more about the skill sets that we're recruiting and the type of tools they utilize.
Hi, Chris Simmons. I am the Business Services Program Manager for the RIDE here in Ann Arbor and also Director of the Get Downtown program.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherline, Frog Print Studios, and I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer, videographer, drone pilot. And if you're a runner, you've seen me at races. If you go to golf tournaments, you've seen me there. I made sure I got Matali into cranes. Mentioned you in the caption. So.
You never really see Carter, you just see a camera. So, but I know it's Carter, so I always wave when I'm running by him. So, thank you everyone for being here. I'm Jim Uziel again. I have a small digital company that I do consulting on digital and mobile development. If your organization is looking to change the way that they market and kind of do a paradigm shift of their marketing philosophies and strategy, that's what I specialize in. So I'd love to talk to you if that's something you're interested in your company. Thank you again, Henry, for being here. We appreciate your time. We have one more speaker for this season next month. It's the second Wednesday in August, and I believe it's the 12th, and I could be wrong on the date there. Derek Maribon, who is co-founder of LA2M and is CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing. He's going to be here speaking next month. He's doing some work with the digital apps as well. So it's going to be a great talk. On your table is a little card, LA2M business card. Feel free to take one, share it with your colleagues, or pick it up on your desk as a reminder that we're here every month. And we look forward to continuing our programming for next season. Thanks everyone for being here again. Thank you, Henry, again for being here. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and go to Telecom.